hi YouTube, how's it going? I'm being silly and I want to dive into React content because I like doing that. And we're waiting for the edible to hit. So we're gonna watch Gigguk badly explaining the entire plot of Star Rail. Because if you asked me to explain Star Rail to you, I wouldn't know what the fuck to start. So maybe Gigguk could. Really quick, I'm gonna take Bernard. Bernard, I love you. I'm gonna move you a little bit down here so that you're not like super duper in the way. Okay, is that fine? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so we're gonna heck and go here. This should be about. It's perfect for our favorite yabber. Yeah, this should be hopefully around the time it takes for me to like get hit by the edible. And this will also just be a fun React thing. I haven't watched a Gigguk video in a long time. So let's see. Let's see him explain Star Rail, the entire plot, in about 50 minutes. I might speed it up depending on how slow he is, but let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Honkai Star Rail is a game from Hoyo and is one of their latest attempts to ensure I cry myself to sleep at night for not being able to collect my favorite fictional anime characters.
For y'all too.
You may know them from the worldwide sensation Genshin Impact to my credit rating, but this is not Genshin Impact 2 or Honkai Impact 4th. This is a completely standalone game about traveling across the universe, saving different worlds like Space Canada, Space China, and Space Birmingham, featuring some of the most canonically straight women you can find in gaming. This is a gacha game, which is a genre of game where the main goal is to pull for anime characters you are most physically attracted to with an infinitesimally small chance of actually obtaining them. My personal strategy boils down to a simple flowchart, wherein if there is a new character I can respectfully refer to as Mummy, I will violently do everything in my power to try to acquire them, only to get jump scared at the sight of receiving a child.
Surprise, motherfucker!
I can assure you that the E5 Clara on my account was achieved totally against my will, and I am not trying to cosplay the protagonist from Black Bullet. But Gigguk, what's the real gameplay? That is the real gameplay. And yet Star Rail has tacked on an entire bonus game on top of that,
stuff
where
on the
you can
bottom.
gather a team of people, which in my case by complete coincidence all happen to be attractive women, traveling around the cosmos, taking it in turns, smacking each other with increasingly pretty animation, which is commonly referred to in the industry as turn-based combat. Where I get all the turns. As you can see here, my team I've named Weeaboo Mother's Day can do what I thought was a respectable amount of damage to get me through the story missions, and then you log into YouTube and find out there are people hitting enemies with a goddamn phone.
I was gonna say, like, that's 4-digit damage, bro. You ain't doing shit.
No, that's a lot of damage. Should I mention this video is sponsored by Honkai Star Rail? Because this video is sponsored by Honkai Star Rail. See, over the years, the Star Rail team have given me money to get addicted to their game that I immediately pay back through in-game currency, thus creating a self-sustaining
You're doing it for free, bro. Don't lie. You're doing it for free.
But today, Hoyoverse have given me my most challenging task yet. Understanding all of Honkai Star Rail. See, Honkai Star Rail has one of the most expansive stories featuring intergalactic wars between cosmic gods, the entire plot of Starship Troopers with Kamen Rider, and the Lovecraftian nightmare creatures known as Twitch streamers that most people don't even know about, because in order to access this information it requires one feat that most gacha gamers are physically unable to do. Read. But as an ex-employee of the BBC with a master's in engineering, Hoyoverse can clearly see that my reading skills are unparalleled. The potentially cutthroat cohabitation
In the beginning.
and following the release of their biggest collaboration ever with Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works that's out right now, I thought I'd take a page out of my Fate days and break down the entire Honkai Star Rail universe for newbies and veterans, because
You're about to piss off a lot of people. You're about to piss off a lot of people then, because I'm pretty sure that video pissed off so many fucking people back then. Like, I don't know why. Unless I freaking dreamt it. I remember him doing the whole Fate series in 30 minutes. It was a really good video. It pissed off the Fate fans, though to be real, that's not hard.
sometimes when you're playing the game,
that's not hard
like
though.
Jin
So
Yuan, one of the arbiter generals of the Cloud Knights and the Xianzhou Alliance on the Luofu, currently looking for disciples of
What are you
Sanctus
talking
Medicus
about?
who are also trying to.
You're playing the game and hear a sentence like
Jin Yuan, one of
Okay.
the arbiter generals of the Cloud Knights and the Xianzhou Alliance on the Luofu, currently looking for disciples of Sanctus Medicus who are also trying to revive the Ambrosian.
You might as well be speaking to me in wingdings, but today I'll explain everything like you have the IQ of March 7th, and by the end of this video you will see that Honkai Star Rail is shockingly uncomplicated. And I can assure you, this is the short version.
47 minutes later, unless I press fast forward like now.
God damn it, it's another child!
Thank you. He forgot to call him the Seed of Divine Foresight. Yes, that proves this point, but just saying.
That's right.
Yeah.
Steve Handjobs is back, bitches. Hello guys, it's been a while. Welcome to my second TED Talk where we talk about the Honkai Star Rail universe. Now before we fully dive into the story, there are a few core concepts everyone needs to know so that you can fully understand everything that's going on. Yes, I'm talking to you, dialogue skipper who lets every fight run in autoplay. I've definitely never done that myself. First and foremost, we have paths. But what is a path? I'm walking a path right now. No. In Honkai Star Rail, paths are totally different. See, they are these universal philosophical
Did he Photoshop shoes on himself because he's not wearing shoes?
concepts that anyone can believe in and practice.
I respect it.
That was a lot of big words for the average gacha player.
If I'm at
so
home,
let
if
me
I'm recording at
simplify it
home, I
down
ain't
for
gonna
you.
wear no shoes.
It's how you think, dummy. Let's say a person believes in preserving and protecting life. Well, they probably believe in the path of preservation. Get that, vegans? Oh, you hate conflict and think everyone should just get along? Well, harmony seems right up your alley. That's right. Paths are to weebs in the Star Rail universe what astrology is to white women. In-game, this translates to different gameplay mechanics. A preservation character, for example,
like astrology,
probably means
I'm
they
not
have a
white,
lot of
though.
shielding and can tank a lot of damage. Abundance characters, well, there's your healers. And destruction characters, destroy. Shit, damn, this is getting really complicated. And in universe, anyone who
See, he's
practices a
wearing
certain
socks.
belief of any path is called a path strider. They walk that lonely road, the only road that they have ever known. I think I just quoted Green Day. And in rare
You're taking 3 gummies? How many are in each one, Nightshade?
cases, any one being who
Are they like
explores the
fives?
concept of their path in its entirety, embodies the beliefs, practices the philosophies as deeply as one can, they can ascend to become an Aeon. Aeons are essentially these godlike beings that completely embody
Okay.
one singular path. Let's take Nanook for example. He is the Aeon for the path of destruction. What does that mean? He is a hater. He is a hater on a
You already pissed off like a quarter of the Star Rail fan base because you misgendered the fictional character. Not how Ian's work, but he did say he's playing it badly. He also misgendered. He already misgendered Nanook. I remember people were getting on Sayu about that when Sai was like giving his whole like theory on what's going on in Amphorius and the whole thing with Nanook and Finan, and some people were really happy and really down for his theory and talking about bug theory. And then there were like several people, way too many. When I see one, it's already too many when it comes to freaking fictional characters. And they're like, you're misgendering Nanook. And it's like, he's not real, guys. It's not, the fictional character will be okay. It's okay. He didn't mean to. Also, when Sai was talking about his theory, he was talking about Nanook in the past tense, who we can theorize based on his current look that he's what probably was a guy. All caps is key, like Emiya is Emiya. Next pronouns are they, them. It's that thing. It's that thing of like, I don't think the Aeon fucking cares. 1, because they're not real, and 2, because they have ascended to a further plane where gender does not matter, and to keep talking about them as if they are gendered or non-gendered would probably piss them off more. But what do I fucking know? Okay, I just have to get that tangent because 5 minutes in, you've already pissed off a quarter. Let's piss off the other 3. Let's go.
level that no other being has ever seen. He hates everyone, everything. His hatred transcends racism, sexism, because he hates everyone equally. His path represents the belief that the creation of the universe was a mistake, so he
gonna look
wants
at the comments
to
and see if
destroy
someone got offended.
everything. Once again, proving that men would rather
I'm gonna look in the comments later and see if someone got offended for the sake of someone got offended. Someone definitely got offended.
eradicate all life in the universe
For the sake of a
then go
fictional
to
character.
therapy. Like, damn, bro, you good? Can't you just like get a pint, build a log cabin, start a podcast like the rest of us? So my wife has actually just started playing Honkai Star Rail, and I have a quote from her about her interpretation of Nanook. He's just a little hottie with a body. Yes, okay, maybe he wants to destroy a universe or two, but he's just an edgy little bad boy. Shut the fuck up and look at those pecs. Look at that emo fringe. Let me nuzzle in that yellow chest, Gussie. No.
He's very shocked. Aeons don't have gender. They are divine concepts. They are not people. They use all caps to denote that they are beyond description through human terms. Can you say hi to my chat? Hi, Babs. Hello, Babs. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Wow.
In the Star Rail universe, there are all these different factions that basically boil down to following one Aeon. They see their philosophy and goes, you know what? We can make a religion out of that. Well, why don't they make a path for gooning? I bet I can be a follower for that path. Well, joke's on you, there is a path for that. It's called the Path of Propagation, and here is your Aeon, Tazironth. An Aeon whose sole motivation is to propagate and spread themselves across the universe, which was born out of a feeling of intense loneliness. He started self-replicating so much that he started a disaster that threatened the entire universe. So much so that other Aeons needed to step in and be like, bro, can you stop gooning for 5 seconds? Imagine gooning so hard you almost wipe out the entire universe in the process. I wouldn't even be mad, I'd just be impressed. Honestly, knowing the Honkai Star Rail fanbase, that's probably the path they'd follow.
I knew you would come.
Now below the Aeons, you have the Emanators. Now these are people that have been acknowledged by the Aeons themselves and have been given extra powerful abilities from them, which is actually a big fat fucking...
Look, he did it again. He photoshopped shoes. It's okay. It's okay, Gigguk. You don't have to. That said, if you use gendered pronouns to describe Aeons, you're not being insensitive, you're just being fundamentally wrong. Yeah, but it's still funny.
Right, because most of the Emanators that we've met so far have never even spoken to that bloody Aeon. But don't worry about that. Because one thing you come to realize is that just because a specific faction follows a specific Aeon, that doesn't necessarily mean the Aeon actually fucks with them. Like, there are some factions who can be like, we follow the path of destruction. Nanook is up.
There's his feet for free right there. And it several other things. People ain't getting his feet for free.
Oh, God. And Nanook can be like, who is this man's? Why does everyone keep saying this is my man's? This isn't my man's. In summary, for all you power scalers out there, you got Aeons at the top, then below them you got the Emanators, then below them you got the Path Striders and factions that follow the Aeon's beliefs. Then you multiply this by 18 because that's how many paths are currently in Honkai Star Rail. And that's where the lore of Honkai Star Rail can be a little daunting because there are so many characters, so many titles, so many factions. But when you break it all down, it all comes down to which path does the particular character follow. Everyone and every faction has a different drive and goal based on the path they follow. And all of the conflict in Honkai Star Rail revolves around the opposing beliefs that each Path Strider has. Did you get all that? Good. We can finally start at the beginning of the story. Our story starts at the Herta space station, an amalgamation of a bunch of nerds who have a hard-on for the one and only Herta the goddamn genius. Philosophical hard-on, not an actual hard-on, I assume. Yes, this is one of the smartest individuals in the entire universe. A sassy lost child. Or her puppet. You know what? We'll get back to that. Helping her run the place, you have a girl about as privileged as Sea Dog VA, with the versifiers, and a dignified woman whose hobbies include Sea Dog VA, with the versifiers, and a dignified woman whose hobbies include theatre, desserts, and breaking the Geneva Convention. At the station, they research all things that piques this little shithead's curiosity, and it's here that we get introduced to the first factions that will play a massive role in the entire narrative. First and foremost, you have the Nameless, which is an interesting name because constantly in the game people can be like, hey guys, I'm Himiko, I'm a Nameless, so what's your name? Himiko. Bruh. This faction follows the Aeon of Trailblaze, Akavili, which is the path that we follow.
This is what
Akavili
probably looked like. This recreation identifies
Akavili. They're all about traveling the universe, going on a bunch of adventures, making a bunch of friends, the Luffy of the Honkai Star Rail universe. And this is our Going Merry. The, train thing. The Astral Express.
There it is.
See, unlike other Aeons who are too good to hang out with pathetic humans, Akavili was that cool older uncle Aeon who'd hang around with the kids and occasionally sneak them beers when nobody's watching. Which, I have no idea about. They were just a chill guy. So chill, in fact, that one day they mysteriously just fucked off. Nobody knows where they went, if they're alive, it was just the ultimate Irish goodbye. Now, at the opposite end of the spectrum, you have the Antimatter Legion. Remember our favorite edgelord Aeon Nanook? Well, he was so edgy that he inspired other edgelords who don't want anything other than to see the universe burn. So they just go around fucking up other people's shit in the name of Nanook, being an overall vibe killer, and conveniently show up whenever there's a Stellaron. Wait, what is a Stellaron? Now, come here, a little closer. Listen up, because Stellarons are massively important.
Not how
throughout
the Antimatter
entire
Legion works,
story
but
of
go
Honkai
on.
Star Rail. I don't know. Look, all we're told is that they're these weird, mysterious things that pop up every now and again and bring disaster wherever they appear. Nanook loves them, probably because he has a hard-on for disasters, and his other name is the Cancer of All Worlds. Which leads us right here to our wildcard
Mouse.
faction, the Stellaron Hunters. Why are they called the Stellaron Hunters? Because they hunt Stellarons. Innit? Right now we don't exactly know why we're hunting Stellarons, but what we do know is that one of the characters is named Kafka, and it's probably the sole reason you first put money into this game. Don't lie to me, I see the date of your transaction history. What's this? I'm getting word from my producer that we actually have footage of Star Rail fans reacting to Kafka's introduction. Let's have a look. Jesus Christ, guys.
I knew you would.
And they actually kick off the events of this game because Herta, the goddamn genius Herta, thought it would be a great idea to leave a Stellaron hanging around somewhere on her station. And the game literally starts by Kafka breaking in and chest-fisting a Stellaron into an artificial body that awakens us, the Trailblazer. Yes, Kafka technically birthed us. That basically means that she is our mummy. Look guys, I don't make the rules, that's just the way it is. I'm just conveying to you the message Hoyoverse clearly wants us all to
Y'all
hear.
really
This
drunk
is
up the
literally
Kafka
first thing
Kool-Aid.
you
I don't
when
see
you wake
it.
up. And as a newborn, our first words were... This is also where we get to meet the current Astral Express crew, which is the crew that will be staying with us throughout the entire journey. First, we have Zumi's Incarnate, March 7th, who is, not exactly the brightest girl. She's the type of girl who tried to solve the issue of racism by running, but that might be because she was found in this huge block of ice Avatar style and has no memories of the life she lived before. So she decided to name herself after the dates they found her.
But Dad, I was born in September. Why am I named?
Shut up, drunk New Year's party January 1st. Then there's Dan Hung, the brooding quiet kid who seems to have a mysterious past. I have another quote from my wife about Dan Hung. I tried zooming in closely, but as you can see, he is not very hung. So that was a fucking lie, but okay. He ain't no bad boy Nanook. Then, of course, you have the mum and dad of the Astral Express. Welt, who's actually
Are
a
you
character
saying
from
that Don
Honkai
Hung
but
isn't
got
damn
lost
hung?
there and woke up in the wrong game. And, of course, this person, which is Himiko.
What'd you
But,
say about
you
Welt?
have the mum and dad of the Astral Express. Welt, who's actually a character for Honkai Impact 3rd, but got lost there and woke up in the wrong game. And, of course, this person, which is Himiko. But not this Himiko. This is a totally different Himiko from Honkai Impact 3rd, which is different from this Himiko, who is Himiko from Hawkeye Gakuen 2. And this is him. Miko from Genshin Impact, no relation. And this,
Miko.
of course, is Saber. The only Saber in the Honkai universe. So far. A little bit of trivia.
So far.
One of the Hoyoverse founders, Dewey's favorite character happens to be Misato from Evangelion. And his favorite character from every Honkai game just happens to be Himiko. Alright, so I see what you're putting down. So with the Stellaron stuck in us and no other memory of where we came from, what else is there to do but to join the Astral Express crew? Because if we choose not to, the game ends there. Our first stop is Jirilo 6,
Whee!
a snow world stuck in a permanent ice age called the Eternal Freeze, leaving most of its landmass uninhabited, save for a few settlements. Yes, it's Space Canada. Without the maple syrup. Here you can find legally distinct Joseph Joestar, legally distinct Ilya and Bazaka, and of course Zila and Bronya, who have a bit of a history. See, here they become really good friends, but not too good of friends, but just friends who bicker and fight sometimes, but they are still friends. Good friends. But this is unlike other incarnations in the Honkai-verse in different games, when they are also friends. They kiss. Kissy friends. But here, in Star Rail, they are just friends. Now kiss.
I hear that, Utena. I hear that Utena OST. Again, not Canada. I think the joke is that it's Canada because it's mostly snow, but I would probably say it's like, nah, I ain't buying that. You see his favorite. Hell no, they mom and dad, that's granddad. It's supposed to be Russia if I remember. Yeah, I'd say maybe more like space Russia with how like it goes, but I guess he's thinking snow Canada, snow Canada. But yeah, no, I hear that Utena OST.
Yes. They're just friends! The main faction you're going to find on Drilo 6 are the Architects, who are followers of the Aeon of Preservation, Klipoth. And they're all about building walls and getting other planets to pay for it. They're led by the Supreme Guardian Kokolia, who is whoa. Her daughter is actually Bronya, and they lead the last settlement of humanity, Belobog. But Belobog has its own bog, and that's called the Underworld, which is under the world of
hear that, Kingdom
Belobog, where
Hearts.
they stick all the poor and stinky people. I'm guessing it's mostly stinky people. Why? Fucking society, innit? And the Underworld is completely blocked off from the Overworld because society, innit? Life is hard down here. It's dark and dirty, and people have to make ends meet by becoming miners and wandering into the great mines to find valuable resources. Somewhere, a Minecraft YouTuber is getting really excited about the mines, I mean, not the miners. The main enemy types here you can find are vagrants. Vagrants. VA Grant?
We'll just steal off the miners.
Look, life is hard down there, okay? Who cares if we steal from a miner or two? You guys are murdering us by the millions! So to keep it from becoming a lawless underworld, a group called Wildfire run everything down here. And they're led by, man, I don't know what system of government they have for electing leaders down here in Drilo 6, but I think they might be onto something. Things are certainly not optimal for Space Canada thanks to the Eternal Freeze, but life wasn't always like this. See, 1,000 years before the Eternal Freeze, Drilo 6 was a prosperous place. Intergalactic civilizations start visiting Drilo 6 hoping to get in contact with the natives. The Architects set up shop, opened a few Starbucks, and everyone lived in harmony. Until the Stellaron attacked. People started getting shook. Some pieced the fuck out, fearing the calamity it could bring, and this bad bitch named Melissa Rand starts building walls and settlements, because of course, the Antimatter Legion show up and are like, guys, come on, let us in. We promise we're not gonna destroy anything. Okay, that was a lie. Okay, we're joshing you. We're gonna do a little bit of destroying. Starting a 30-year-long war, pushing humanity to its brink. And in desperation, Alyssa Rand hits up the Stellaron and is like, hey, Mr. Stellaron, so can you, like, help us get rid of the Antimatter Legion? You can use any means necessary. By any means necessary. Yep. You do realize I'm a Stellaron, right? You know, bringer of calamity, destruction, disaster. What's the worst that could happen? Okay. So the Stellaron decides to turn the thermostat down a bit. The Antimatter Legion go, brrr, it's cold, I'm out of here. Congratulations, Alyssa, you've successfully repelled the Antimatter Legion. Yay! What's the catch? You've wiped out all other life and made this planet totally uninhabitable. Fuck. And thus begins the Eternal Freeze, until we show up. So what's the storyline of Drilo 6? Bitch be wildin'. We rock up in our space train, knock over some trash cans, kick some Antimatter Legion ass, and we're all like, don't worry guys, we're here to save you from the Stellaron. To which Kokolia replies, oh, you here to save us? Is that what I heard? Go to jail. Because little do we know, the Stellaron has actually been whispering in her ear, being like, psst, hey, wouldn't it be bants if you just, I don't know, destroyed the world and rebuild it anew? Oh my god. I love Code Geass. Boys, what we saying? She a 10, but she wants to wipe out all life from the planet. So the entire storyline of this arc is just us trying to take down a mom who's gone a bit loop-de-loop. And it all comes down to one final showdown where everyone teams up. Nameless versus Stellaron. Mother versus daughter. Where we immediately get stabbed. Well guys, that's it. Game over. Pack it up. It's over.
We made a choice, go fight against your fate. Pain will come with the blade.
We get that up with Klepoff's aid, get a new preservation form, and beat the fuck out of her with the power of rock music and this giant fucking robot bloody mega fisting her into the ground. God damn, this sequence was awesome. Wait a minute. Oh man. Bronya, having killed Cocolia with her own hands, is left in tears, knowing she did the right thing, but still processing the death of her own mum. Then March 7th comes in like, hey guys, wasn't that so fun? Let's go to the pub and grab a pint. The Celeron is sealed, Bronya becomes Supreme Guardian, the
Yeah, March is
underworld
kind
is
of a
opened up,
psychopath.
no more stinky people, and of course, Zila and Bronya continue being friends. Job done. Now we move on to it's China. It's just China in space. Humans, furries, and scalies live in unison on these ships, with each ship housing different races and cultures with names I can barely pronounce. Here you can find people like Space Kongming, Kindergarten Death Battles, Sassy Lost Child version 2, Daniel, the cooler Daniel, and Blade, the embodiment of Black Air Force energy, literally saving up centuries of hatred, going around looking for just one thing. A way to die. And he looks like this. And he calls himself Blade. Bro is canonically hundreds of years old and hasn't mentally matured past the age of 14.
Leave
Now,
him
for this
alone,
story,
he's
we're
hot.
just focusing on the but it is just one of 6 ships, all together forming the Xianzhou Alliance, which can also be split up into different divisions run by different groups of people that sometimes have guilds within them, causing factions within factions within factions within factions within factions, meaning every character we meet here has a title about as long as your average light novel name, like they jack off every time Daenerys Targaryen introduces herself. It would take this entire video length just to break down every faction within this one ship. So we are going to focus on what is most important for the main conflict, and that
You look at the size of that fucking ship, and it's like, honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. This is kind of how I know that they were inspired by Macross, because you cannot look at this. Okay, it's just a boat. It's a space boat, but it's a fleet. It's the size of like a whole ass country, and it's moving through space. It's a Macross fleet. It's a Macross. It's a Macross without the turning into a robot, which means it's just so much more inferior. Not gonna lie, Blade looks like he loves Latinas. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. The only time I give a fuck about Kafka is when she's shipped with Blade, and like I believe that like you know that freaking clip, that freaking meme of like hecking Blade asking Kafka to sit on his face. I love trust in you, Squeaky. Don't act surprised. I said this before. I ship Kafka and Blade hard. I ship them hard. I ship them so much. It's so fucking good. It's good shit. Nurusachi, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. He's the chair husband. Yeah, his face is the chair. He just wants her to sit down. Kafka's doing a lot right now, carrying the Stellaron hunters on her back because they're really not that interesting. And the most Blade can do is be a good chair and let her sit on him. Okay? Okay? I'ma be real with you. Right now, the Stellaron hunters have been a lot of give us nothing. Okay? Right now, they ain't doing shit. They haven't done shit for a while. He is her chair. So here's a cute... Yeah, like, again, like, Silverwolf is just a hacker brat and Firefly is your girlfriend. Like, it's... And right now, the most interesting characters, funnily enough, are Kafka and Blade. Kafka, because right now, we really just don't know anything about her. She knows about us. She knows a lot about us as a Trailblazer, but she doesn't say anything to us. And heckin', it's that thing of, like, that's... to me, the only reason that she's interesting is because she's just a blank. And even then, the game gives me nothing to work with, so I don't care. So to me, Blade is the most interesting of the Stellaron hunters. Kafka seems to know a lot of people. What if I want to dump my GF and correct the brat? Yeah, so like everybody done drunk the Kafka Kool-Aid early on, and I'm sitting here being like, okay. The reason to me that Blade is the most interesting is because so far, like, when you think about it, he is the one we know the most about, and he's the one that you can like really kind of think on, and see, like, he has a story going on. But other than that, like, I don't know. I'm not interested in Kafka. At least their kits got buffed. Yeah, you know, at least there's that. But this ship is a Macross. That sucks.
Ship. So we are going to focus on what is most important for the main conflict, and that revolves around the long life species that you can find on the ship, which are species that can live long lives, as opposed to the short life species, or baby men, which is what I imagine they're called by the long life species. First off, we have Foxians, who are fox-like beings with fox-like characteristics, and on the furry scale, they land about here. That's still good, right? I think that's still good. You know what? Let me check with my local furry expert. Yo, D, how does that look?
What the fuck? How would I know?
Come on, D. You know why.
So don't worry, Facial Mage, you guys are still safe. It's not too late yet. Xenozone 0 players, please seek professional help. Then we got the Vidiharas, Videharas, Vidimhara, Vidimen. These are people with dragon-like characteristics who are
The video men.
functionally immortal. But instead of going through one long lifespan, they go through a cycle of rebirth, where after a certain age, they get reborn while their body gets repaired and lose all their memories, in a process the FBI calls Schrodinger's Lolly, where characters can canonically be both 13 and 1300 years old at the same time. And lastly, we got the Xianzhou natives, who bring the main beef to this all-you-can-eat buffet. Many years ago, the Xianzhou Alliance traveled the stars to search for immortality, where they just happened to run into the Aeon of Abundance, Yao Shi. Now Yao Shi, she's a giving Aeon, maybe a bit too giving, but don't worry about this part of the title. She sees everyone turn up asking for immortality, and she's like, you get immortality, and you get immortality, and you get immortality.
Not how multi-rebirth works, but okay. I have to like turn back a little bit there because I kind of like lost sauce.
All-you-can-eat buffet. Many years ago, the Xianzhou Alliance traveled the stars to search for immortality, where they just happened to run into the Aeon of Abundance, Yao Shi. Now Yao Shi, she's a giving
Okay.
Aeon, maybe a bit too giving, but don't worry about this part of the title.
Don't worry about it.
She sees everyone turn up asking for immortality, and she's like, you get immortality, and you get immortality, and you get immortality. What's this I'm holding in my hand? It's just, don't worry about it. So she
Yeah, it's
plants
fine.
this big ass tree called the Ambrosia Arbor that allows anyone who eats its fruits to become immortal. Yay for trees, guys! We love trees! But unfortunately for the Xianzhou natives, they get so much immortality and live for so long
got broccoli
that
legs.
eventually they fall into madness and the body mutates into this zombie tree-like thing that they call Mara Strike. And so once everyone realizes that immortality isn't everything it's cracked up to be, they all start to turn on this all-giving Aeon of Abundance. And it's like, fuck you, fuck everything you stand for, fuck all your followers, and fuck your stupid little arms. And look, I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of feel bad for Yao Shi. Like, aside from this, there was also a time when the Foxians were going through a famine on their planet. So in desperation, they asked Yao Shi to give them some food. She plants so much food for them that eventually it spurs a population explosion that kills their ecosystem and destroys their planet. Like,
Whoops.
when are people going to
Whoops.
learn that her name is the Aeon of Abundance, not the Aeon of,
Just
"Okay,
enough."
Just tell me when. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, yeah, you can stop now. That's enough.
That's low key. Also, why my little Honkai. Well, aside from the fact that I like healers, the fact that my little Honkai Sona is also abundance is because she goes around fucking everybody. She just goes around fucking anybody I'm thirsting at that particular moment. She is about giving love in every way she can. Until you are satisfied, but maybe just a little extra, just, you know, as a treat. That's propagation. I'm not talking about breeding, I'm talking about fucking. I'm not talking about breeding. I'm not talking about breeding. It's different. Sex and breeding are different. She is about giving love. That's the thing. She wouldn't call it freaking me giving fan art. Yeah. It's we felt Hunt though was better for Din though, because you tend to just do it all at like specific people at once. No pregnant, only breed. No breed, only sex. No breed, only love. She is the embodiment of too much love to give, or a lot of love to give. So she gives love to those who she feels needs it, and the ones who are very special cases, whoever I'm thirsting for at the time, she gives them her special type of love. Anywho, moving on before we go back to me being a slut for fictional men.
Because in response to the immortality epidemic, everyone on the who changes their path to the path of the hunt. Now, the path of the hunt is similar in philosophy to the path to destruction, but unlike Nanook, who is like, fuck everyone, the hunt is more like,
fuck you in particular.
Just you. Fuck you in particular. Like the Aeon of the Hunt, Lan, is the self-proclaimed sworn enemy of abundance and will go around endlessly eradicating any followers of Yao Shi. Bro's got more generational hatred than Dio does for the Joestar lineage, and poor Yao Shi is just in the corner sitting down going like, guys, I don't mean to victim blame.
Also, another reason you're not abundance, Din, is because you do it to hurt us. You do it to hurt us. You attack us with fan art. You attack us with art, and we say, Din, no, no. That's why you're the hunt. I thought Yasha was non-binary. All the Aeons aren't gendered or non-gendered. They are absent completely of gender in that you do not put them into the constructs of regular human beings. They are ideas at this point. They are beyond humanity. But yeah, sure. Yeah, they use they them pronouns. Aims directly for the vitals. Yeah, snipe with fan art. Yeah, I was gonna make an HSR OC. I would definitely make a Galaxy Ranger. Yeah, and the Galaxy Rangers are also hunt. But yeah, heckin', it's not that the Aeons are non-binary. It's that they are void of the concept of gender, and as such, the pronouns are they them. But because they literally aren't people, not because they're non-binary.
The bread is here.
There we go.
Can you believe
Crazy
it?
Fox with a sub. Thank you.
What a
But
waste.
you literally did ask for it. So they commit a bit of casual deforestation, destroying this immortality granting trees because fuck trees. Am I right? What the fuck have trees done? Supplying oxygen and immortality to people. Puh! I spit on you. So what's the Laofu storyline? It's this tree. And a Stellaron. Because of course it's a Stellaron. We hear a rumor that there's a Stellaron on board from Kafka. And you know what happens when Kafka goes fetch? We go, and it seems like someone's gone and fucking done it by planting a Stellaron at the root of this tree, causing it to resurrect along with this deer tree thingy. But who could have done such a thing? Turns out, not everyone agrees that immortality is a bad thing, so they all gather together in secrecy, forming this weird-ass group called the Disciples of Sanctus Medicus, who looked at the way everyone was hating on Yao Shi and was like, I know Yao Shi, yeah, she crazy, man. She fucking sucks. God, I hate her guts. God, that guy know I secretly fuck with this. Little do we know that there's a real guts. God, that guy know I
you fuck with.
Little do we know that there's a real mastermind orchestrating everything from behind the scenes. That's revealed to us at breakneck speed. Yep, it was a real plot twist. Someone got Thanos snapped out of existence. Alright, I'm gonna go watch some TikTok chiropractor videos now. You'll never be able to guess who it is this time, lads. That's right, the fucking Antimatter Legion are at it again. And this time is one of their head honchos, Fantilia, who is one of Nanook's emanators. And she takes the form of, god damn!
Big lady.
I'm sure Thanos had to clap for this one. Yes, this entire thing was just the Antimatter Legion trying to destroy the from within. And they would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for Dan Heng, who is secretly a dragon person, because Dan Heng is actually the reincarnation of Dan Feng, the cooler Daniel, not to be confused with Dan Sung or Dan Dung, who also has a history with Blade because they used to be really good friends, but not too good of friends. But according to some of the lore you can find in some of the relic sets, they were what you call bosom friends. Hey yo, what? But that's all in the past now because Blade actually hates Dan
Toxic
Hung
yaoi.
because Dan Hung was previously Dan Fung and Dan Fung committed a crime which caused Blade to be immortal. So Blade now hates Dan Fung, but he got reincarnated to Dan Hung, so they are no longer bosom friends, they are bosom enemies. Now kiss. They're just enemies, guys! So we get another team up. Dan Fung returns and parts the fucking waterway, Moses style. We take down the second mummy boss of this game so far.
Does no one ever point out? Now here's the thing. So I know people say that like Hoyo games are gay as fuck, and they kind of are. Not gonna lie. They kind of are. But there's also a genius woven web here. Because when you think about it, now with a lot of the men, they love to make them very, very close. Like again, like bosom buddies and things like that. And make it very, very in the realm of possibility, but they'll never outright say it. It would be so much gayer if it weren't for the CCP. This, maybe, I'm gonna say I don't think entirely so, because another thing is gacha games do this in general. Not just Chinese gacha games like Hoyo's games. In general, gacha games do this shit. When they're male characters, they either give them an intense rivalry or a very close brotherhood of like type of friendship where you can almost assume that they might be doing a little bit more than playing football every Sunday. But they do this with the women as well. They do the same thing with the women as well. Because also, think about the people that project themselves onto the main character. Think about it. If you're a girl and you're interested in them, because here's the thing: if you're a girl, both actually, let me rewind. So they always make the male characters either have an intense brotherhood or an intense rivalry that can essentially branch out to it's gay as fuck. You're toxic yaoi and you're like soulmates kind of thing. They do it with the women too. They absolutely do it with the women too, though they tend to go more towards the positive where they really care about one another. They're the quote unquote they're just friends kind of thing. But also they're always a little more interested in the player than usually everybody else. And we all know that with gacha games, especially ones that are very female character heavy, it's because they want their like mostly men play these games, so they want the protag to feel special and like a necessary part of things, and also again because they're mostly men, so that that play that all these women are all over them. But also when the gacha game allows you to pick a female character, it also works in the opposite. All the men are practically gay, but maybe except for you. All the women here, probably all gay, except for maybe you. You're an exception to the rule. You get special privileges. And then if you're a guy and you're going for the guy characters, you still win. You still win. It's a formula that everybody wins. If you're a guy playing the game and you're not interested in the guys, well, they're all busy being gay anyway, or killing each other, or both. And all the women are all over one another. They're not interested in the dirty, dirty men, except for me. and when I'm not around, they're smooching each other. They're just lesbians. I'm in the land of Lesbos, and everyone's having an amazing time, and everyone's having fun, and you win. And then if you're a woman, or if you're a Claire, if you're a Claire, you're just in lesbian paradise where you are a lesbian and everyone around you is a lesbian and everyone's happy and you don't have to worry about men because they're over there. And again, and if you're a guy and you're not interested in the female characters but you really love these fucking men because yes, they are all wonderful, you don't have to worry about the icky women. They're over there being lesbians. And if they are a little bit too close, don't worry, guys. They're just related. So everyone says that Hoyo games would be like 10 times more gayer and everybody would be gay if the Chinese government just let them do that. I don't entirely agree. Not that there's anything wrong with them making all the characters gay. I just don't think they would. I just don't think they would make everyone explicitly gay because we have Jane Doe and that cat boy in Zenless, and it seems very clear that they have a thing going on, but they're also quote unquote just friends. It's mainly because with the target demographic where they want to make the player feel special and like all these characters love them just a little bit more. You can't make them seem interested in the opposite gender, but also not entirely interested in the same one either. That's why we get these never quite explicitly that. At least this is my theory. Someone in the comments will be angry at me and call me freaking homophobic or something. And that's not nice. Let's see. I'm gonna read with chat. Isn't that just every guy relationship though? Yeah, runaway, but like at the same time, it's like people really, yes, but people also want to assume other things. So it's a really neat thing that in Chinese media, there's a whole bunch of series that add gay characters almost as an act of rebellion because Gov won't let them. Yeah. Barring Branya and Zila, who kind of acknowledge you exist sometimes. Yeah, the ones, the characters that so far don't super duper care about you're Branya and Zila. I just like cool and well-designed character. Gacha's mostly catered to men. Path to Nowhere is an example of a femme majority game. Where do femboys fit in the equation? Does it add an additional modifier or does it fit with the standard numbers? I'm actually, this is a genuine question. When has a game actually legitimately put in a femboy? And I'm saying this as like an honest question, because a pretty man is not a femboy. And a tomboyish girl is not like a tom girl or whatever they call it now. Usually, I don't remember. I don't think I can recall any time a quote unquote femboy, aside from Astolfo-ish character has been put into a gacha game. And Astolfo's only in Fate Go because because Astolfo is from Apocrypha, and so technically Astolfo doesn't even fit in this rule because I think they're the only femboy in Fate. Because I don't count Enkidu. Enkidu doesn't have a gender either. Let's see. Standard numbers. Femboys get to exist in both. Jane by Queen. I was saying it'd probably be a few couples if the CCP wasn't the CCP. Everyone's just friends with the MC and ZZZ. Yeah, I see exactly. Very cute character event with Jane where she falls asleep on the MC's couch because she's tired from work. Astolfo. Wait, misremembering, she passed out near the shop, got taken. There's also Serval and Kokolia who only really friend and enemy you, while damn do they have history. Genshin has a bunch of femboys. Are they femboys or actually pretty men, or are they just young boys? Because I don't count like Scaramouche and Goro and all those I don't count Misha as a fucking femboy because it's just a young boy. And I don't think we want to actually start calling kids femboys. That's kind of fucking weird. Venti? No. Actually, no, wait. Yeah. Venti's kind of... I can see where Venti counts as a femboy. I can count where Venti counts as a femboy, but I don't... here's the thing. I also don't consider Venti a femboy because they're just pretty. And usually the whole thing with femboys is that they dress like girls. Sometimes. I don't think... So yeah, actually, no. Based on the general rule of what people normally associate with a femboy, excluding the requirement of just being pretty, Venti's not a femboy. I can cancel just for that. Venti's not a femboy. Venti's just a really pretty boy. And honestly, it looks more like a kid. Like, Venti dresses pretty boyish. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. And that's the thing. It's like, for example, Astolfo is considered like prime femboy because even though he identifies as a boy, he likes to wear girls' clothes because they're his clothes and they look nice. Drake Tamer, the 63, thank you for your 63rd follow because this tends to happen to your account a lot. But yeah, so most of the time I look at Venti, again, I don't see a girl. I don't see anything feminine about Venti's design. They just look like a young boy dressed in like frilly foofy bard clothes. So I don't understand. Like, people can do what they want with them because, again, fictional character, but the game doesn't sell Venti as a femboy. They really don't. This is my first account. My second account was Drake. Oh, okay. Okay, I understand now. But yeah, the main point once again being is that Star Rail does this thing where if they also and again, I feel like this is also just a business thing, but someone will find a reason to be angry at me in the comments because I know they will. Everyone is gay. It's Schrodinger's gay. It's Schrodinger. No, it's starting to hit. It's Schrodinger's gay. Guys, it's Schrodinger's gay.
You look like a thirsty bitch.
Schrodinger's bisexual. Well, see, here's the thing with fictional characters. I go by the rule of bi until further notice.
There are lions on the floor.
That's the show She-Ra in a nutshell. Wouldn't it be Schrodinger's bisexual? No. It's Schrodinger's gay. It's Schrodinger's gay because most of the time, the female characters and the male characters, they tend to they tend to just have a very intense relationship with someone of the same sex, whether it's positive, negative, or you're quote unquote wholesome and toxic, where there's just enough intensity that you can lean into the romantic, if you're going the Fujo route, but also when it comes to the main to the player, if they are playing the opposite gender as the characters that they're rolling for, it's also they're not interested in anyone of the other sex except for you. You're special. You're a special case. They're for you. That kind of thing. So they're gay until you need them to be gay or want them to be gay. Otherwise, if you're a different variable in the equation, now they're just for you. The Firefly romance. Maybe. I said once in a tweet that they were all gay, straight, or bi, and all at once until proven wrong. Exactly. And again, it's like Schrodinger's gay. It's gay. Are Zila and Branya... Actually, no, Zila and Branya's not good because they don't fucking give a fuck about you. Black Swan and Acheron. Black Swan and Acheron can be one. Where freaking are these girls really interested in you or what you're doing or what you're going on, or are they eating each other out in the theater? All of that one freaking Hoyo Fair video. What are they? Sexual orientation is a superposition. I don't know what that means. Only gay because Kalis doesn't exist. Exactly. Yeah, there you go, Claire. That one. And again, it's like, is Firefly a lesbian, or are you and her just really good friends? It's on the player. The player can decide, no, she's like, if you're playing stealth, no, that's like literally my girlfriend. And you get your Yuri. But if you're playing as Kalis, it's, no, that's actually just my girlfriend. And it's, it's straight. But Also, well, that doesn't really work the other way, but also, if you're not interested in Firefly, but you're gonna take it anyway because the game's shoving her down your fucking throat, then, you know, yeah, she's just your really good friend. And, you know, you and her are just best friends. You know, that kind of thing. I hope I'm making sense, because it's starting to hit. It's starting to hit, so I hope I'm making sense.
And this boss music is an absolute bop. That's it.
You are a fool.
Done. All right, this video is getting a bit long, so what do we got next? Welcome to Penacony, the land of festivities, where the game... Fuck my life.
Yep.
Welcome to Penacony, the land of festivities.
Firefly is your roommate unless you want to impose more. Yeah, exactly.
Story missions too.
Hold on, I'm talking over him. I'm not hearing.
Fuck my life. Welcome to Penacony, the land of festivities.
The level of relation is dependent on the much the player cares. Yeah, it's like it's like Schrodinger's cat, but like Schrodinger's is the character gay.
Where the game goes from just taking a few hours to complete all the story missions to...
And yeah, again, gacha games almost never use femboys. Astolfo does not count. Fight me.
A lot more. This world is the legally distinct Disneyland for people who look like...
And Grand Blue.
This, bringing in the wealthiest and most privileged individuals from all around the universe thanks to its main attraction, the Dreamscape.
Tick-tock! Our friends are awake and asleep. Welcome to...
Fuck me, is that Tiki Mouse? The Dreamscape is like the Inception and the Matrix in one big incestuous...
Oh yeah, it's
thing.
hitting.
It's a lucid dream.
Bard, I took a peanut butter cup. I took a peanut butter cup with weed, and we've been waiting for it to hit, which is why we're watching this, and now it's hitting.
Dream world you share with all the other attendees there,
Tiki
where
Mouse.
anything is possible. Get blackout drunk without having a hangover?
Oh,
go for it.
Tiki
That's
Mouse.
just fucking Tuesday at Spoons, innit?
What the fuck you mean they don't count as a femboy? Because are they dressed like a girl or are they dressed like a child?
Gacha! In your gacha game.
Or a young boy.
Spending your real-life money wasn't enough. Not even fall damage can kill you, which would be relevant if Star Rail actually had a jump button. Here we'll run into people like Dr. L plus Ratio, the real gacha man. My little sister. My little sister can't be this cute. And just another totally normal cute anime girl here, nothing to see here.
No!
Hey guys, just another cute wife to add to your collection. And of course, season 20. My little sister. My little sister can't be this cute.
I don't like that. I feel okay. No. see now it's getting me because I think I'm not even I don't participate in the Star Rail fandom, so I don't freaking consider myself this because I know it's all a joke. But I also low key. I don't. I'm not gonna say I don't like or that it bothers me, but it's like, no, it does bother me because it feels like it's shitty media literacy and shitty media literacy. I do not like. We do not like. So yeah, I can say it ruffles my feathers because it means that people just didn't get it because they're not thinking. Sunday is not into his sister. And if you after watching Robin and Sunday's story and who Sunday is and all of that stuff and how close, if you look at the relationship between Sunday and Robin and your first thought is he wants to fuck his sister, I think that says more about you and you might need to get help versus whether or not the game was well written. I feel like that says more about you than about the game. Like, never got the vibe. I don't. Yeah, honestly, even the little I saw, I never got siscon. Yeah, I feel like if after knowing Sunday and Robin's story, you still think Sunday wants to fuck his sister, you're weird. Like you're just weird. You're weird. And I think it's it's that thing of. It's that thing of. Oh god, it's hitting, so I'm losing my train of thought. I don't think there's ever been a moment of Sunday even given the slightest yeah, no, he's not obsessed with Robin because she is a sister. It's because she's his sister. Like, again, if you look at Robin and the Sunday story, and your first thought is the fucking siscon, it's just you're a little weird because they're siblings. They're not writing like anything like incestual. It's just y'all are weird, and I'm getting high. But yeah, no. I feel like if you after hearing after seeing their story think it's siscon, you're weird. The game, it's not that the game's badly written, even though it has its moments, but I think you need to look more inside yourself. If you just look at a close sibling relationship and you think that shit, that's weird. You're weird.
And just another totally normal cute anime girl here. Nothing to see here, guys. Just another cute wife to add to your collection. And of course, season 20 of my favorite Hoyoverse anime. Can a girl-girl friendship survive? Now, kids. I need an adult. This is also where we get introduced to a plethora of new factions because they've invited everyone under the sun to attend, so I'm going to try and keep this as fast as possible. Starting things off with one of the biggest factions in the Honkai Star Rail universe, the IPC. The IPC is like if the IRS, Amazon, and the S&P 500 came together and made one big incestuous baby. And don't ask why I keep saying incestuous baby, it's not that deep. It is the mega corporation of mega corporations, controlling all business transactions.
Is that Bezos' face?
Its mere concept is enough to give Jeff Bezos the biggest warning wood of his life. They supposedly follow our old friend Clipoff and be on preservation, but the IPC believes, unlike the architects from Guerrilla 6, that they need one thing and one thing only to help Clipoff meet their goals. Money. And they've sent one of their representatives, Adventurine, to try and get some of those big fat Penacony profits, which is on brand because one of his attacks is literally beating the fuck out of you with money. He's not even rich. He's just
his attack is literally making it rain. Makes it rain. I love Aventurine.
Reckless about spending his money.
I don't thirst for him as much as I thirst for the other guys. He's like in between the ones I don't care, the ones I'm like, oh, I'm a little thirsty, and then like the thirst. And the reason I think, I don't know why. I just sometimes, because I love Aventurine's character, but I don't see myself it's like I have to be in the mood to thirst for Aventurine, you know? I have to like be in the mood to swoon for Aventurine. That one's a very conditional sort of thirst. The thirst is Sunday and Argenti in it. Yes, and also Boot Hill. Boot Hill was the character that I looked at and I was like, I really want to pull for him. Like, that was the character I was like, I don't care if he works for my party. I don't care if, you know, freaking he's a very, like, situational kind of unit at the moment. This man is hot, and I want to pull him so bad. That was Boot Hill. So, you give Boot Hill his flowers right now, because Boot Hill was the real... Like, Argenti, I gradually, like from friends to lovers with my thirst for Argenti. It didn't start right away. It kind of slowly built up, and now he's one of my top 5. Like, one of my, like, my top 5 men, but, like, always. And then, but Blade was the one where I was like, no, I'm pulling. I might need to put in money. I'm pulling. Which is really funny. And then Sunday, I really liked his character. He unfortunately, as I'm made fun of always, the dumb fucking notes are all hit. He's a big brother with, you know, with long hair and with a brooding older brother with issues. So obviously, you know, you just the door was wide open for you, hon. You didn't have to worry about anything. But Aventurine, after seeing his story, it has to be like consensual thirsting. It's like, Aventurine, do you feel like being thirsted for today? Yes. Awesome. And then, you know, but like, you know, I think it's because Aventurine's been through so much, I at least like in my head want to ask him if it's okay. Am I just stupid? Someone's gonna make fun of me. Someone's gonna make fun of me. But yeah, like, so Aventurin, it's like, you know, we consensually goon for, I don't know, goon's gross, y'all are weird. Thirst. Just thirst. Just thirst. Yes, mutual. But I think it's also because I know I get very like flustery and nervous and blushy when it comes to a specific audio of like Camden with the Gallon audio, but I think that's also because like Gallon is so special and near and dear, so it feels a lot more personal. But like that also doesn't make me thirst. Because I know people have joked where it's like, it's voiced by Camden, Squeaky, freaking thirst, or like freaking, you know, freaking Squeaky's gonna freaking lose her shit when she sees Camden. Once when it comes to like, this is also why I don't thirst for Jing Yuan, but I can explain it better when I explain why I can't thirst for Jing Yuan. I can't thirst for Jing Yuan or like any character Ale has ever voiced. Because once I know that the person voicing this character is one of my like goodest friends' husband, I'm like, he's off limits. Like every character voiced by Ale belongs to Scylla. So I'm just like, I can't thirst for Ale's characters. That'd be like me being trifling in a homewrecker. Absolutely not. So I refuse. They just down the tank. So as soon as I saw, when I first saw Jing Yuan, and I was like, ooh, he is kind of ooh. And then I started like hearing, and then I learned that it was voiced by Ale, and I was like, okay, it's gone. It's like stomping out a cigarette. Just we're done. Just snuffing a flame out. Just like a shot with a fire extinguisher. It's gone. It's just that moment. The moment I hear, the moment I see Ale's face and a hot anime character or a hot video game character, it's already gone. Desert, don't care. My brain immediately fucking flips that switch. Abort, done. And then I don't thirst over them. I do not thirst over Jing Yuan. I'll see some real nice art, and you know, we share it because we respect good ass fucking art. Pero no me hace nada. Nothing. I appreciate Jing Yuan and what he gives, but I'm not really interested in buying. Oh, okay.
Comes in the form of Boot Hill, who is a space cowboy and is like playing Red Dead Redemption 2 with parental. In the form of Boot Hill, who is a space cowboy and is like playing Red Dead Redemption 2 with parental controls on.
Son of a nice lady.
Love him.
Who pretends to be a Galaxy Ranger, but really her true identity is the emanator of nihility, which makes her pretty damn powerful. Now, nihility is all about a state of nothingness or non-existence, so I don't know how she got the job, but I assume it went something along the lines of, you got the job. Wait, what? There's Black Swan. Now, her whole thing becomes a lot more relevant in the next world, so we'll come back to her. There's this one girl from a faction called the Masked Fools who is not too relevant right now, but I just want to mention that Aeon, because their entire path philosophy seems to be Lamau, why not? Like this one time, made one of their emanators a worm. A fucking worm. Like, can you just imagine all the Aeons out there vying for power, and Aha's just there in the corner like, he turned into a worm. Funniest shit I've ever seen. The Celeron Hunters are back at it again.
Actually, that reminds me. He got the lore wrong for Aha, and I know Lynn's gonna point that out right now. But I also know he was making a joke because of the meme, and that might also be why Lynn probably didn't write the entire message, because it just took a second to click. But what was I gonna say? Was it gonna be about Pringles?
And this time he turned into a worm. Power and I've ever seen. The Celeron Hunters are back at it again, this time sending in Firefly, who has a
No, where was the Pringle joke?
like this one time, Aha made one of their emanators a worm. A fucking worm. Like, can you just imagine all these...
Actually, no, now I remember. It had nothing to do with Pringles. I just love Pringles because she's a fucking gremlin, and Twitter tried to cancel her, and I was like, you know, I respect that. And so I got Pringles, and then once he popped, the fun don't stop. But actually, no. What I was gonna say about Aha, that I guess this reminded me of, is yesterday. If you were watching Deco stream Honkai Star Rail, if you were watching him do the Sim Uni, he did an amazing voice for Aha. But now that I'm thinking about it, it could have been a filter. I don't think it was a filter. No, I don't think it was. If you guys were over at Deco stream yesterday, he did an amazing fucking Aha. Like, holy shit, it was real fucking good. I almost want someone to go back to that VOD and clip it. Because I remember it being really, really good. But yeah.
Aeons out there vying for power, and Aha's just there in the corner like, he turned into a worm. Funniest shit I've ever seen. The Celeron Hunters are back at it again.
Also, yes, Aha did not turn an emanator to a worm. Aha found a random worm and was like, this would be so fucking funny, and gave that worm 90% of their
and this
power.
time sending in Firefly, who has a sad backstory because she has...
Also, Lynn, when you said hi, was it to confirm I was right with my guess? I hope so. I want to believe I know you.
space cancer or some shit, but most importantly, she takes you on a date. A date. And then she ended up crashing top-up services and breaking every revenue record Star Rail had on release. Like, come on, guys. Are we such simple creatures? Are we just that easy to manipulate? Why are you showing footage of my Firefly? And all these different factions gather together on Penacony, because Penacony is run by a group called the Family. That's run by a man named Gopher Wood, who has 2 adopted children in Sunday and Space Taylor Swift. And their security is run by Gallagher, right here. Finally, Star Rail adding a proper daddy to their roster.
I'm 13.
Goddamn. My boy's aging at the speed of white. And their history ties right into the founding and main storyline of Penacony, because before Penacony was this luxury vacation spot, it was a barren desert with a rather embarrassing leakage problem.
Has anyone gotten canceled on Twitter for... No, I know no one cares that Gallagher is 13. Not with all the porn I've seen of him in Sunday. Ain't nobody care. Gallagher is an exception, because the whole internet be I've seen so much porn of Gallagher. I've seen so much porn of Gallagher. I know for a fact. I know for a fact that the Star Rail community doesn't care about him being 13. Yeah, it's a reference to the death card in tarot.
You look like a thirsty bitch.
Yeah, but people are still gonna be mad about it on Twitter, Lynn. Because it's Twitter. I was just saying, like, is it... I was like, I was literally going to ask, is it okay to still call Gallagher a daddy even though he's only 13, as per what he said? I know that, honestly, if Twitter ever got mad at anybody for calling Gallagher daddy, you can just literally point to, like, the other half of the fandom that draw him in Sunday fucking a lot for some reason. I saw it way too much. It was a lot.
Because it was leaking Memoria.
That's just sarcasm, ain't no way. Hold on, what? Would pulled harder for Firefly if she was just Sam all the time and never an anime girl. He's fucking what? Okay, Gallagher bit was pretty good. Also, Gallagher, yeah, the tarot card. That is a man in his early 40s. You cannot tell me he's a 13. Yeah, also, he's also a fictionologist. But yeah. And here I am thinking he was just an old dog that became human in the dreamscape. That's just sarcasm, ain't no way. Yeah, no, I think but that was also the joke runaway, is that his I'm 13 was a reference to the death card, which is number 13 in tarot. But people looked at it literally because, again, media literacy is dead. It was an echo filter. Yeah, but the echo filter and the tone, he had a tone. He did a tone and he had a cadence about it that was very good for this silly, whimsical Aeon. Listen, unless you have lore receipts, every age they give you in Star Rail is a lie. In a way, that man is 13. The fucker refused to believe that. But again, it's not that he's actually 13, it's that he's a reference to 13 and all that stuff, but yeah, Twitter took it literally.
Is Memoria? It's memory come. Alright, if you want a more detailed explanation, Memoria is this substance that serves as a vessel for human memories and consciousness that seems to be some sort of physical manifestation of memories or mental energy that can sometimes group together in high concentration and can have a negative impact if a normal human is exposed to it for too long. It's memory come. So the IPC sees this and thinks, money. Turning Penacony into a prison planet where they send all their prisoners to help fix the Memoria leaks. I don't know what I'm doing right now. That was meant to be mining, I think. Yes, everyone thought Penacony was meant to be Vegas, but think about it. Former prison colony, barren deserts, pokies everywhere you look. This is fucking space Australia. Eventually the prisoners spend so much time around Memoria that they begin losing their absolute dicks and they start to enter a shared
13
dream
and Dog
world,
Years is
like
old.
the
Yeah,
ultimate
Dog
VR
Years is also
gamers
a
in shared
reference.
server. Now what do all gamers dream of doing together? That's right. Rising up. They rise up against the IPC, take back the planet, and of course this is the perfect time for Aceleron to come in and be like, "Why, hello there. Allow me to introduce myself." With the planet in utter chaos, this is when Shipe, the Aeon of Harmony, descends down and tells them, "Yes, it is I, the Aeon of Harmony. Can you, stop being so not harmonious and stuff?" Nice rack! So Shipe helps the prisoners integrate into the family. They split up into 7 different factions, which eventually becomes 5, giving them control over Penacony with no more IPC. Yay, we did it!
Oh yeah, the penal colony. Yeah, because that is what Australia started out as. So yeah, space Australia, but also space New York.
Guys, we beat capitalism! And so then the family thinks to themselves, wait guys, hear me out, crazy idea. What if we turn this shared dream world into a commercialized vacation spot where all the rich people spend all their money, and we can even throw this big festival called the Charmley Festival where we only invite the most important people from around the universe to attend. Yay, capitalism! Now as followers of the Harmony, a path all about getting along well with each other through mutual trust and cooperation, you'd think the family would be just a bunch of chill dudes. Well, that would be the case if the leader wasn't secretly getting his dick wet for another Aeon. See, Aeons might seem like these immortal, everlasting, godlike beings, but they can actually be slain, and some of them can even be absorbed into other Aeons, which is exactly what happened to Enna, the Aeon of Order. Now, Enna is all about controlling the masses through strict oppressive means to maintain order. She is the final form of your Asian mum when you tell her you're getting an art degree. But like every good Minecraft YouTuber, bitch just became irrelevant, and eventually Shipe came. But like every good Minecraft YouTuber, bitch just became irrelevant, and eventually Shipe came along and assimilated Enna inside of her, which is essentially an Aeon getting bored to death. I don't know why I wrote that sentence. But unfortunately for Penacony, this Asian mum is the Aeon that the head of the family secretly follows. They don't want the new hotness. They want old and busted. And so the head of the family comes up with this plan to resurrect Enna and leaves it to his adopted son.
Damn, that is kind of like...
new hotness. They want old and busted.
That is kind of like... Yeah, like old generation and new gen... Oh my god, it's so symbolic.
And so the head
that
of the
is
family
so symbolic.
Oh my god! Enna and leaves it to his adopted son, Sunday, to
order
enact it.
can be
now,
harmony.
Sunday
harmony
is a
can
man
be
with
order.
A strong personal philosophy.
Oh my god!
He
It's
just wants
generational
everyone
trauma.
to be happy, even if the happiness comes from
Hold on, what was
the
saying?
adopted son, Sunday, to enact it. Now, Sunday is a man with a strong personal philosophy. He just wants everyone to be happy, even if the happiness comes from sheltering people from the harsh realities of the world by force. And he thinks this way because he saw a bird once. Okay, well, there we go. All right, I'll leave you for a second. We'll come back to him. He wants to activate the Stellaron, putting Penacony into a permanent dream world where people can't wake up from it. It will be
I
a
love
perfect
Sunday so
paradise with no
much.
conflict, no pain, no suffering, and no illness, where people are completely unaware that it's a dream.
Hold on, say it again. I was looking at Sunday.
No pain, no suffering, and no illness, where people are completely unaware that it's a dream.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's what I thought you said.
Oh, he's the bad guy, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Free will. People don't get. He's a man with a strong personal philosophy.
I love that. I have to
He
listen to it
just
again.
wants everyone to be happy, even if the happiness comes from sheltering people from the harsh realities of the world by force. And he thinks this way because he saw a bird once. Okay, well, there we go. All right, I'll leave you for a second.
Without it
We'll
being
come
an
back to
idol,
him.
the ultimate
He wants to
the
activate
ultimate
the Stellaron, putting Penacony into a permanent dream world where people can't wake up from it. It will be a perfect paradise with no conflict, no pain, no suffering, and no illness, where people are completely unaware that
Sunday did
it's a
nothing
dream.
wrong. He's the Griffith of Star Rail. He's the Griffith of Star Rail.
Oh, he's the bad guy, right?
He did nothing
I'm sorry.
wrong.
Free will.
Sunday did-
People don't get free will.
Sunday did
Yay
nothing
for free
wrong.
will. I always choose free will. I say 3 hours into my TikTok scrolling sesh, being mindlessly fed videos I didn't choose, finding my life increasingly dictated by algorithm.
Y'all can't tell me you wouldn't sign up for what Sunday was offering.
Yeah. Because if there was one thing Sunday didn't account for, it was us, the Trailblazer. Because we turn up to the final battleground because he's still talking about the bird. Let's give him a minute. I'm sure he's almost finished.
8 hours later.
To fashion a cage for it.
Oh, because we turn up to the final battleground because a little birdie once told, oh, for fuck's sake. And this all culminates in one of the most hype moments of the game so far, where we take on this heavenly mechanical conductor thing while fucking Space Taylor Swift sings in the background and we throw a goddamn train at it. Yes, we beat the final boss by driving a fucking train into it.
Also, it's a Macross plot. Also, Penacony is just the plot of Macross. It's just the plot of Macross Frontier. Penacony is just the plot of Macross Frontier. Ooh, damn.
It was fucking beautiful. Look, guys, all I'm saying is, I'm not an Idol fan, but in the aftermath, the IPC come back and acquire some shares of Penacony, which
We'll be getting to the you laugh you lose in just a moment.
I mean, yeah.
I just want to finish this video now first.
And then Black Swan hitches a ride with the Astro Express along with the newly reformed Sunday as well.
Yeah.
All right, Sunday, I know you just tried to take over Penacony, but we're cool with that. We're cool. I can forgive that. Just if you're gonna be here, can you just not talk about any birds? Is that cool? Are you cool with that? All right. Let's fly off to our next destination. This brings up to our final stop so far and Star Rail's most ambitious story yet.
Oh, 10 more minutes, okay.
Amphorius. Now, at the time of writing this, Amphorius' arc is not currently finished, so we're not going to get too heavy into spoilers, so I'll just give you a basic overview of what this world is about. Welcome to the world of God of War. In space, a world themed about the Greek mythos that nobody knows anything about. It's so shrouded in mystery that even Akavili did not visit this place when he was trailblazing around the universe. Come on, Akavili, mate, get with it. How the fuck do you miss this place? And the only reason we know anything about it is because of Black Swan. Remember when we said we'd come back to her? Well, Black Swan is a member of the Garden of Recollection, and they follow the Aeon Fuli, the Aeon of Remembrance. This path is all about preserving memories and keeping records of everything that's happened so no one forgets anything, which is useful for anyone over the age of 30. Because if you've been paying close attention, you may notice that every world's been themed around a certain path, We've gone from preservation to abundance to harmony, and now we are here at Remembrance. We even get our own remembrance powers by adopting this cute little pink feline called Mem, who stays with us on our journey and constantly talks in our ears. And wait a minute. Oh no, this is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. But what is this world all about? Well, remember at the start of the video when I said try not to be intimidated by the amount of Aeons out there? Well, apparently that wasn't enough information because Amphorius has its own godlike beings that are not Aeons or Emanators. They're called Titans, and they created the world of Amphorius. And there are 12 of them! Oh god, by the end of this game, I swear, Star Rail's gonna have more mythology than actual mythology. Alright, lock in gang, because I'm gonna go over this pretty quickly. War and death to the planets. Alright, you get all that? No? No one was listening? Well, that's okay, because unless you actually want to deep dive on how each Titan's story ties into the world, all you really need to know is that all these Titans came from these things called core flames that was given to Amphorius by an even higher god. Who is this higher god? I don't know. I'll never tell. XOXO, Gossip Girl. I don't actually know. The most notable Titan you should be aware of, though, is Kefle, the world-bearing Titan.
They kind of
who
hinted a
created
hint.
the humans of this world and is the site of humanity's last stronghold. Because everything was chill until the Black Tide came along and fucked everything up. Wait, it's the Black Tide this time and not a Stellaron? That can't be right. Stellaron! Stellaron! Where are you? I know you're hiding somewhere.
It's not hard to
here, you
imitate
son of a
Mem.
bitch. The Black Tide is this mysterious
Someone in the comments is gonna
corrupting
say I
force
sound
that
nothing
turns
like
people
Mem.
into fucking bent-out tweakers. It destroyed
For me, it
multiple
sounds like Mem,
cities and
but I
turned
know
several
not
of the
quite
Titans
right.
mad. And so, to avoid corruption, Kefle just goes, dun 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 dun, fucking blue screens himself, but not before bestowing a prophecy upon humanity. 12 chosen heroes with golden blood will appear, strong enough to defeat the Titans and take their core flames, ascending to become demigods. Only then will humanity come to a new era of prosperity. I don't know why I said come. These heroes will be known as the Amphorius 5-star units. All the Crystal says. And that's the basic premise of Amphorius. We go around units. All the Crystal says. And that's the basic premise of Amphorius. We go around kicking the shit out of the Titans with the Crystal's heirs, jacking their core flames, and letting Hoyo spend their budget on these very beautiful alt animations. You have Tribios, who despite her looks is already a demigod, along with Aglaya, who has the core flame of the Titan of Romance. And all I'm saying is, she can romance me any what? There's Castris, who is
Your girlfriend.
She's okay. Nothing much to say about her
She's
story,
okay.
actually. And of course, you have Mighty and Phynon. Mighty, who is an Angie boy who I swear to God is trying to compete with Sung Jin Woo for Aura Farmer of the Year. And then you have Phynon, who is a good boy. The goodest of boys. And he goes through a lot. Together they make a great team.
He's been
as
through
they
a
would
lot.
do if they weren't bitter rivals who compete in absolutely everything they do. But guys, that's actually really early because they actually care about each other and they're just trying to bring out the best in each other because they're the best of friends, but they would never admit that because they're bitter rivals.
Oh no!
You know, I would say now kiss, but I'm pretty sure they already kiss each other goodnight. And that's the setup for Amphorius in a nutshell, which is the bare bones surface level explanation for all the things hiding underneath this world. I will say there have been some developments in the overarching story arc, but what I will say is that compared to previous arcs, the setup and execution is actually far more straightforward than what we've seen in Star Rail before. We are just over
Just because I ranted about the hot spring scene before, and I say ranted very loosely, but heckin' the Fujo bait works so well. The Fujo bait works so well. It always works. Always works. always works, and always works. Easy money, but also it's because it's also the Fujo bait works because it's easy money.
Over halfway through the story arc right now, and I will say, as an aside, it is actually shaping up to be my favorite Star Rail story arc and world so far. I don't need that. And of course, that leads us to the final development in the Honkai Star Rail universe, the fated crossover with...
I actually think this was low-key shade. I feel like that was actually low-key shade. That was low-key shade. But yeah, the Fujo baiting is very, very profitable. It's very, very profitable. So it's like you can Fujo, but also know that you're falling for it. You're falling for the conspiracy.
I don't need that. And of course, I will say, as an aside, it is actually shaping up to be my favorite Star Rail story arc and world so far. I don't need that. And of course, that leads us to the final
I feel like that's also kind of like a low-key, low-key undercover shade.
The fated crossover with Fate Stay Night's Unlimited Blade Works. I see what he did there. Woo! We fucking did it, guys! I don't know how, but it actually happened. Now, this storyline isn't like all the previous storylines we covered. This is more of a side story. Think of it as a beach episode with no beach and
Sparkle
just a
never
holy grail.
appears.
We head back to Penacony, where one of the heads of the families, Oti, was messing around, where he just stumbles upon a holy grail. But not just any holy grail, it is a mini holy grail. Bro, I'm lucky enough to find £5 in my pocket, and then there's this guy stumbling upon a bloody holy grail. And so he decides to host his own mini holy grail war. Now, any true Fate fan
oh
would
yeah,
know
no,
that
I was
the
really
Holy
happy
Grail
Boot Hill
war
was in
is
this event.
always
I
held
love
in
Boot Hill so
secret
much.
with no way for the public to know. But this one is different. OT holds a public Holy Grail war, and I assume charges people more than your average influencer boxing match to watch the bloodbath unfold. 4 summoned famous people from Penacony, where some of them mess up and accidentally summon some familiar faces from a different universe. Wait, wrong universe, wrong universe! As one of the masters, the Trailblazer accidentally summons the King of Knights themselves, Saber. Adventurine somehow summons Archer, and of course, Boot Heel gets our favorite son of a nice lady, Lancer, who is alive. And Berserker's master and servant is Oti. He's Berserker's Star Rail's master and servant. But we have Berserker right over there. And that's it.
And that's
The
Berserker at
collaboration
home.
is out right now, so whether you're a Fate fan or a Star Rail player or you're both, go get it while you can, gamers. And that completes my very quick rundown of Honkai Star Rail. Look, this game has only been out for about 3 years, and I'm not gonna lie, there is so much lore and so much story to go through that I had to cut a ridiculous amount out of some of these worlds. This all was meant to just be a very basic introduction into the entire world and story of Star Rail, and even then, it somehow is even longer than my Fate video. So if you want to get the full picture, there are already some very talented content creators covering this topic, or you know what, you can just go play the game yourself. Because while this is the short version, I will categorically say this now, that there will never be a long version from me. But who knows what the future holds.
Okay, there you go. Thank you for watching a 45-minute advertisement for Honkai Star Rail. That's pretty much what this was. That was exactly what this was. That's also why I feel like the money handing over joke is the point. But yeah, okay, awesome. Now that we have done that, thank you, YouTube, for spending time with me, watching me progressively get high while watching a lore-intensive video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you thought about my 2-hour video watching a 45-minute one. Love you guys. Mwah. Say bye, YouTube and Twitch. Say bye-bye.